Hello, everybody. My name's Ethan. I'm 25 years old. Just for an introduction on me, I'm going to school for, well, to be a pastor. I've been going to school for roughly about close to 7 years now, almost 10 years, pushing on it. I still don't have a bachelor's degree, but I do feel that I have learned quite a bit through school. I'm actually in my second year of my program to become to get a bachelor's in Christian ministry. I've changed my major about 3 times, so I was kind of confused when I first started school. But what I'd like to do is I'd just like to start a podcast for to practice and to have you guys listen to my thoughts and what I feel is on my mind and what God is calling me to talk about. This morning I was reading out of Exodus 29, the consecration of the priests. When I was reading this, I was getting a big feeling, and it made me think about today how people are ordained to become ministers. It's a really confusing process how some ministers have to go through extensive training and have to go to school for long periods of time, and some even have to go to seminary to get this ordination, to even be qualified to be ordained. Well, at the same time, there are churches who accept anyone off the street. There are churches who accept people who only have a bachelor's degree. And then there's the online ordination, which is not the best in my opinion. I think it really takes away from the experience and doesn't, if the student hasn't gone to school, I feel like, it's allowing something to happen that they may not be ready for. In reading this, there's just so much process of being consecrated into priesthood for Aaron. And seeing this, I just look at it and I say, God has a plan for Aaron, and He's calling Aaron to be a priest. But at the same time, He has so much that He wants Aaron to go through. He wants him to make these sacrifices, and He has specific plans for them. When Aaron does when Aaron does these, he has to do he has to do them to the extreme detail. He can't he can't slip on these, because this is the big thing that God's saying, that if he does slip on these, he's going to sin and he will not be qualified to be a priest. Today, when I look at these different ways to become a pastor or a priest, where a priest would be much more difficult, a lot more process there, which is good. Um, but to become a pastor, to become ordained, I feel like some of the processes aren't extensive enough. Lately, I've been listening to motivational videos, and they've kind of been pumping me up, and actually, they've inspired me to do this first recording. But when I listen to these motivational videos and I combine them with this consecration of the priests, and then on top of that, today's ordination process, where anybody can be ordained online just by clicking somewhere. Um, it's something spiritual. It's something given by God. It's a great gift, but it's also a call. And like these motivational videos I've been watching, they they express a call from God as dreams. Okay, we have dreams in life. We want to do stuff. We know what we want to do with our life, but sometimes culture and society tells us we can't, and we get held back in those certain areas because of society, because of society and culture telling us what's normal and what's not. Well, a call and a dream shows us what we want to do, and we should go after that dream or call with all our might. This ordination process online just really takes away from that, because it's just, it's kind of like a handout. Think of it like, and I'm not going against people who um, live on funds from the state. I understand that certain people need that money and are trying out there, but there are some people who don't try and plan their life around these funds. How can I get more funds from the state? And that's so wrong, because it's abusing the system. In school, there's financial aid, and I have financial aid, but at the same time, there's certain people who will go to school just so they can get financial aid, not really going for a degree, just keep going to school because so they can get money back in loans or in grants, so they can live off this money. Um, we need to pursue our dreams, our call. With one specific thing in these motivational videos, someone said, "This isn't your dream. This isn't anybody's dream but mine. I don't expect a handout. I don't expect you to support my dream." Okay? I need to practice. And I may have talent in this call, but talent is something you're born with. You want to push and sharpen those skills. Okay? People are born with talent, but you have to practice to become skillful. You have to keep pushing on this, and you have to keep every day just pushing on it, and just trying to perfect that talent that you have into a skill. With the ordination process, we can go online, just click, say, hey, I want to be a pastor. So I become ordained. Now I can marry people. And some churches even accept people who have been ordained that way. That's how much I would like to say well, that's good for them. It's not correct. Because again, it's going in the handout process. We're handing something out that people haven't earned. I believe that the only way someone should become ordained is through a church, through someone who sees that they have this skill, sees that someone has perfected this skill. Going online and just clicking and saying, hey, I want to become a pastor, that's the easy way out. We can't take this. We can't take that, okay? We can't take that route. And this is speaking to all those people who want to become pastors out there, who have the call, more so the call, because with a pastor, it's not something that's, always a dream. With me, it was a dream, It was one of those things where I wanted to do this. I loved public speaking, and I loved spreading the word of the Lord, and I loved sticking up for God. Sometimes I slip with that, I do. But that was my dream as a 12-year-old. I met with my pastor over and over again, and I told him one time that I knew what I wanted to be when I grow up. I wanted to be a pastor and a professional golfer. Okay? Golfer was kind of out because I wasn't that good. But I did take the time to go on the team and practice, but I did see that wasn't me. I didn't have the skill. I didn't have the ambition there to perfect that skill. But with preaching, I do, and I want to keep perfecting this. And that's the biggest reason why I'm recording this video today. It's, well, just sound, I guess, but Still, that's the biggest reason I'm recording this today, is because I want to perfect that skill. I want to, I see that I may have a small talent, but I want to make that a skill, and I want to make it good, so when I do become a pastor, when I do have that chance to be ordained, those people can see that I have worked hard for God in this area, speaking to the people. I want them to see I've tried long and hard to get where I am, so they know that I'm going to do the same for the people in the church. I'm not just going to preach a nice message and leave at the end. I'm going to do my best to reach out to these people and hold on tight to them and give them the message of the Lord and help them learn how to do it for other people. I look at Exodus 29 and I see why God has so many specific things that He wants done. He wants Aaron to be committed to this. He wants to show Aaron that this is a holy position and he can destroy something or he can build something up here. And the only way to do that is to follow God. Follow God into this fire. So we can build it up, or God can see that if Aaron isn't doing these things, He's going to put it out, and He doesn't want the fire to go out. He wants the fire to get bigger, and He wants it to spread. So today I just encourage you guys to think about that. Whoever may be called to something, it doesn't even have to be a pastor that you're being called to. Maybe somewhere else in ministry or even a job. Everything, our lives depend on God, and we need to look to God in our dreams. It's not just about success. It's not just about money. It's about that we need to do everything for the Lord. There's so many things that we need to just look at and say, am I doing this for God or am I doing this for myself? And I'll guarantee you, if you look at it and you truly look deeply at it, you can see that if you are looking towards God, you can have that much more encouragement. That much more encouragement to sharpen that skill. He didn't create us to just work a 4-foot by 4-foot garden. He wanted us to flourish that garden. He wanted us to make it huge. He said, okay, here's what you do. You start out with a 4-by-4 garden, and then you take the seeds of those, and you make an 8-by-8 garden. And then you make a 16-by-16 garden, and so on and so on. And keep doubling, keep doubling. He wants it to be huge for you. He wants you to keep paying it forward. He doesn't want you to just work in the small group. He wants you to bring it to everyone. And the only way to do that is to listen to God and ask Him to help you sharpen your skill. Ask Him for encouragement throughout the day. And also rely on yourself too, because you have the power to move forward and keep sharpening that skill. It's not going to get done when you're sitting on the couch. It's going to get done when you pick up your feet and you start working towards it. And another thing about today's video, my dad, he was a great person. He did have some issues in life. He got angry sometimes, and a little more than he should have. He, you know, he had certain problems in certain areas of his life. But the biggest thing is he he looked towards God at the end of his life. He passed away at the age of 48 because he got sick from something called systemic sclerosis. And this happened in 2009, and in 2012 he passed away. But in that time, I could see a complete difference in his walk of faith. He walked towards God and he expanded relationships with other people with that sickness. People came to him and he spread the word to them, and they became stronger with God because of him. And it was just great to see. I'm sorry, I kind of forgot where I was going with that. But it was it was to see that you don't have to be healthy to spread the word. You don't have to be healthy to go after your dream. You may have a condition that that inhibits you, just pulls you back and says you can't get off the couch or something, or you may be bedridden, okay? But the big thing is there are certain things that you can do. If your dream is to do something off that bed, in your bedridden, I would deeply consider truly looking at it and seeing what you can do. What's the next step you can take to get closer to that dream? Maybe it's listening to the doctors, getting a surgery done, or something like that. It's just, we need to look at what we're called to do, and if we're called to do those things, we need to listen to God and ask God for guidance and go after those dreams and go after our calls. We need to support those because God will always support you in what He's calling you to do. But He can't lift you up off the couch. He can't lift your feet up. You have to make the decision to do that. You have to make the decision to say, okay, what can I do today? What can I do today? And I remember what I was saying earlier. My dad said something. Now I'm not for sure if this is a quote from someone, but I know he always used to write it down. He wrote it down in a piece of paper and put it in my wallet. It said, "Don't ever put off until tomorrow what can be done today." The reason for this is because tomorrow will never come. Tomorrow is not a day. Today is a day. We live in the now. We need to start it, because if we keep putting it off, first it starts with one day we've put it off. I'm doing it tomorrow. And then something happens tomorrow. It's a repetitive cycle, and we need to say, I'm going to start today. And that's what I did. I've put it off for way too long, and I've said I wanted to start making these videos. And I may not even post this video, but then I'm making this video. It's me sharpening that skill. I want to keep doing this so I can sharpen my skill, so I can put something out there for you people to listen to, for everyone to listen to, and they can get something from it. And I encourage you to do that too. Not with videos, but with your dream. Whatever you can do today, do it. Don't put it off tomorrow. It's simple. I may have said some things that, I wasn't prepared to say. I may have learned today that I should probably write down stuff before I start talking. But I learned that today, and I need to focus on that and say next time I'm going to do that, and I'm going to sharpen that skill tomorrow even more than I have today. But I'd like to pray with you. Lord, I thank you for this opportunity to to make this message, to talk with everybody here today. I thank you that I could have this opportunity to read the Bible, read your word, and study it and learn from it. But more so, Lord, I pray that your call for me, I pray that you can sharpen that as a skill. I pray that I can take your encouragement and use it in my life and build that and sharpen it as a skill. We don't get by life with just talents without perfecting them. We don't go on stage on a whim. Lord, I pray that everybody here today can hear that from you as well, that a call is something wonderful. It's a dream. But I want them to realize, Lord, that dreams are possible. Dreams aren't something that you go to bed at night and have. Dreams are something that can come true. And Lord, I pray that they would follow you. Everybody here today would follow you and ask you for guidance, ask you for encouragement, and take that not lightly, but in deep into their lives and apply it. Apply it and work today, not tomorrow. And just go into the world saying, I'm pushing for this call. I'm perfecting this skill. This is no longer going to be a talent, but a skill. And I'm going to work towards it every day of my life for you, God. Not for us, not for me, not for somebody else, but for you. You are the Almighty, Lord, and you are the one we need to follow, and you are the one we have calls, the reason we have calls, Lord, and we should dedicate those calls to you and always ask you for guidance and always do it for you. In your wonderful name we pray, Lord. Amen. Thank you for joining me today. Again, my name is Ethan. This was my first podcast. So, if you have any comments or feedback for me, even if you want to say I suck, don't do again, just let me know. But all feedback is useful. Please make it detailed because I do like to see where I can better my speaking, where I can next time maybe talk to somebody different, talk about something different that you have on your mind, but also just improve my speaking skills. Thank you for joining me again, and have a wonderful day.